What's up guys, Jimmy Miracle here. I'm going to show you how to do some value scales with 8B pencil. You could also use a charcoal pencil. You could use even a contemporary sanguine. Your value scale in the sanguine is not going to be quite as dark, or you could use a contemporary B compressed charcoal. Let's start off with this 8B graphite. So what we're trying to do here, here's a full value range, is create a middle gray, leave one for the light of the paper, and one as dark as we can go. These are some different techniques you can use to work the pencil into the paper. I got this one started already. So we're doing 3 tones, light, middle, and a dark. This is veiling. Basically, I am going to be going back and forth in veils of tone. Just kind of holding this generally like this. Let's move this veil of tone that away. Trying to get as dark as I can go slowly, working this pitch black 8B pencil into the grain of the paper. Now you could do this really carefully and try to get inside the box, and that's good practice too, but I am just going to get some general boxes going. That's about as dark as I can get. Do one more pass this way. I don't want to break this, so I don't want to press super duper hard. And now you can see that this middle gray needs some more veils of tone. And I know that there's people like Grand Central Academy, other of these ateliers, where they try to get every single, called island hunting, look up Dorian Itten, where they try to get every single grain of the texture filled in like this. I don't want you to do that. That's going to be super laborious, long, painstaking process for the sake of a glass finish, which I don't actually want glass finish. I am interested in texture of the medium, the handling of the paper. That's looking closer to middle gray, but one thing that's going to confuse you here is that because the background is super white, it's going to make this look darker than it is. So that's why when I do these value scales on white paper, I just tone the background in so it doesn't confuse the middle gray into looking darker than it is. And now you can see, basically we're trying to get a even jump with the technique of veiling between a light, a middle tone, and a dark. And this one needs to go down a little bit darker. So here's my reference card here. This is a photographer's middle gray. Let's look at it here. It's actually looking good. I'm not going to go any darker than that actually. That looks like middle gray. And then here's my reference for the black. And that 8B pencil almost comes out at pure black. There's a little glare on the window, but that's pretty close. All right, so this one, these are about 2-inch squares. Let's talk about the next technique, hatching. So get yourself 3 squares drawn. You can do this to familiarize yourself with the medium 5 scales. Five steps, and then you can do the 10-step value scale as well to really get control of some even jumps. And then you can even take it farther if you want to do 20 or 30 step micro increments. All right, let's do hatching. So we're not going to be going over and over like in the veiling. We are going to be swinging our pencil, picking it up over the paper, just trying to get some tone on here. Go in different directions. And let's get the background hatched in. So I'm gonna go over the squares. My easel's shaking a little bit. So let's hatch in a 3-tone value scale with our 8B pencil. You could do this with an H pencil. You could do it with a B pencil. You could do it with layers of H, then B, then 2B. Or B, then H, then 2H. So there's lots of ways to experiment with these media. Let's just get a darker tone over both the middle and the dark with another hatch. So the hatch, I'm sort of trying to preserve the mark. But eventually, once you get enough layers, the marks start blurring together. But when you're doing more alla prima work, you really want to preserve this. Sargent does that a lot. The actual mark, not going over it many times, but deciding what kind of tone you want, what kind of texture, and then leaving it and not pitter-pattering over it a million times. All right, so that's kind of looking like a hatch with get this even darker because I want to go as dark as I can for this sake of this value exercise. So switching back left and right. I don't want to break the pencil, but I also want to get it so you can see there's a little more gnarliness in the hatch than the veil. Let's give it one more pass. This one, you can hatch different widths close together, press down. So there's a lot you can explore with just a hatch. All right, let's move on to the stump. Let's do a 3-tone scale with the stump. So basically, I've got a paper stump here. You can use your fingers as well. And you are wanting to make a 3-tone scale. A light white of the paper, a mid-tone that's halfway to black, and a black. And then I'm gonna actually tone in the background as well. So I'm basically just laying some tone down there like I did in the veil. Just moving my pencil back and forth, getting something on here, and then I'm gonna stump it in with this paper stump, and again, there's people who spend hours and hours trying to get a perfectly smooth tone, and I don't really want you to waste your time with that. I want you to get bigger concepts of the actual tone, shape, regardless of what texture it is. I mean, the actual tone value, the lightness or darkness of it, regardless of its texture. And finding these relationships in your drawings, paintings is kind of the main thing. All right, let's stump that in. So I'm feeling like that's getting close to middle gray. And you can see a little bit of the I kind of hatched a little bit on top of it. That's all right. Let's give it another pass and stump it in. I'm trying to get a pitch black tone with the stumping technique. Let's see what kind of time we're looking at. 10 minutes. I think this video is getting a little long. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of how you can work on your understanding of materials, understanding of tone relations, and a simple exercise to get you going. You can use different papers, newsprint, smooth, rough. You can get some nice paper, some watercolor paper. Try these different techniques. And again, you can do 5-step tone scale or go and do a 10-step tone scale. You can do this in paint. So then you can do quick oil sketches, like this is one I did of Sargent. Well, it's really just some simple understanding of light and dark relations. Here's one, quick one, Caravaggio. So there's pitch black, dark, there's an off. There's only a few values in these studies, but if you do them in pencil, definitely take a little more time to scrub it in, but you need to understand some basic techniques of how to experiment with media and just lay tones down. All right, so that's stumping. There you go. And here, alla prima is basically all at once. Where I'll do a little smaller one here. I'm gonna try to hit this black in one go. And it's not going to be as pitch black as this one. Maybe you can give this one more pass. But I'm gonna, let's see, sort of leave my mark. So there's some little spaces in between. Sargent works like this a lot, where he leaves his mark as is, one go. No stumping, no veiling, no rehatching, just boom, place of dark and it's there. Let's go try to get this mid-tone scrubbed in with one pass. So I'm shooting for that. And there we go. There's, all right, that's the alla prima. And obviously you can do this lots of different ways. You could do one where the marks are a little more open. Go different directions. There's infinite variety to how you can lay these marks down. I would encourage you to experiment. Use some different pencils, different dry media. You can do it in wet media, oil paint. I've even got this huge value scale that I use for students to kind of put behind the model, and then you compare tones. Looks like my skin is about something about in here, and my shirt somewhere down in here, this range. So maybe even actually something in there. Anyways, finding these value scales useful. Love tones. Tones are beautiful. It's kind of the primary language of painting. And tone drawing, light and shade. Go make yourself some value scales and have fun. Hope this video helps you. Have a good day.